Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a non-title tag team contest scheduled for one fall. Introducing team number one first, accompanied to the ring by Chris Sabin, and representing the Motor City Machine Guns, one half of the New Japan Junior Tag Team Champions from Detroit, Michigan, Alex Shelley.
For the Guns and Lethal Consequences, tonight's match about proving a point. Shelley and Lethal, they want to prove that unlike Sabin and Creed last week, that they can work together for a common goal. All four to challenge Suicide at Slammiversary for the X Division Championship.
Ooh, yeah.
His tag team partner accompanied to the ring by Consequences Creed, and representing the team of Lethal Consequences from Elizabeth, New Jersey, Black Machismo, Lethal.
It's been established that the Guns and Lethal Consequences, well, they're on the same page when it comes to solving the mystery of suicide. Lethal, Creed, Shelley, and Sabin consumed with unmasking the X Division champion, and they will certainly have the numbers in their favor. It's going to be 4-on-1 at Slammiversary in a King of the Mountain match, but what hasn't been established is if all four can work together, if that opening is there to win the X Division title.
And their opponents from New York City, they are the TNA and New Japan Tag Team Champions, Brother Ray, Brother Devon, Team 3D.
The efforts of this tag team, Team 3D, to give back, to bring the spotlight, to bring the prestige to tag team wrestling via their own invitational tournament, that was an unqualified success. The winners, Beer Money Incorporated, they received the trophies. They received the $100,000 check recently here on Impact. But the big payoff for James Storm and Robert Roode is just 10 days away. Sunday, June the 21st, Slammiversary, Detroit, Michigan. Beer Money to challenge Team 3D for the TNA World Tag Team titles.
Mike, I got a few things I want to say about 3D. First off, I applaud, I think we all do, the tag team tournament and focusing on what the tag team situation is like here in TNA. But you know me, I will not cow down to anybody. You know me, I'll tell Team 3D face to face how I feel. And these comments that they make about the British invasion, and it's hypocritical. The British invasion is doing nothing that these guys haven't done in the past. The British invasion isn't doing anything more underhanded than Team 3D has done in the past. All they're doing is making a name for themselves, getting noticed. Yeah, it might be in an unconventional way, but the bottom line is they've got in Team 3D's minds, and that's what they set out to do.
Non-title matchup this week on Impact. Pretty obvious that Team 3D, in my mind, should be focusing on Beer Money Incorporated. But as you heard in the interview with Lauren prior to this match, we were talking all about the Brits, the problems that they have with the British invasion. They obviously have no idea who they're messing with when it comes to Team 3D, because all Brother Ray and Brother Devon want to do, they want to pass that torch through knowledge and respect, as Brother Ray said, and there's no respect in return from the Brits. Big power slam, Devon with a 2 count.
Mike, I'll tell you what, we don't always agree, but I agree with you 100% there. If Team 3D is not focusing on Beer Money Incorporated, well, their titles will end at 22. They will no longer be the champions after Slammiversary. And if Beer Money's smart, they won't be buying into all this mumbo-jumbo that Team 3D's giving them. All this respect and mutual respect and oh, they're so much like us and they remind us of how we were and blah, 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 blah.
Don West revisionist history. I recall at the Sacrifice pay-per-view event when we had Team 3D at the broadcast table, all you did was kiss Team 3D's ass, speaking of mumbo-jumbo and blah, 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 blah.
I'm sorry, Mike, I was watching the action in the ring. Beautiful move there by Alex Shelley to get over to Jay Lethal and make the tag. I'm sorry, we'll go back to that in just a minute. You might have to repeat it, I wasn't paying attention.
Lethal gonna try and take down Brother Ray, working on the arm, catches him with a boot right into the midsection, and Brother Ray has got the much quicker, more high high-flying team here of Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, and Alex Shelley. And to this point in time, 3D has done exactly that. They have ground the opposition down.
Mike, I tell you brought it up earlier, too, about this kind of weird partnership we got going on between Lethal Consequences and the Motor City Machine Guns. And it's all based on trying to unmask Suicide. Now, me, I'm somebody that, hey, I don't need to know who Suicide is. I'm happy with him the way he is, always have been. As long as it doesn't end up being Clint Gilberti, I can deal with it. But the bottom line is, as you made this point, if they're not focused on the X Division title, if they're too focused on worrying about who and what Suicide is, they're going to miss an opportunity to get that X Division title, because it's the first ever King of the Mountain X Division title match, and we know how demanding that match can be. You need to be focused on what the task is at hand.
Perfect counter for the high-risk, high-flying tactics of Black Machismo, Jay Lethal. Brother Ray back to the power game, and he did exactly that. He overpowered Black Machismo, brings him over to their side of the ring, and tags in Brother Devon.
Well, that's what they do so well. I mean, nobody's going to deny how powerful and strong 3D is, but the bottom line is anybody can beat him if you work together. You saw that right there, where you see Lethal and Shelley working together with the drop kicks, and here they go. Suicide dives.
Double suicide dives. But problems ensue. This is the communication problems that we saw last week between the Guns and Lethal Consequences, as 3D's able to move out of the way. That's what happened.
That didn't quite go the way they had it planned, I'm pretty sure there.
Let's see if this goes as 3D plans. Oh, Lethal hooks onto the rope, put on the brakes. Sabin distracts the referee, Mark Johnson, and that enables Shelley to hit the low blow on Brother Ray.
Well, just doing whatever they got to do to make this thing fair and equal. And now you can see Slick Johnson trying to get Devon out of the ring, which is something that 3D always tries to do, always try to get that man advantage on you, but we got things back in order. One, no, not enough.
I hope that Suicide is taking notes on what we just saw from Lethal Consequences and the Guns, the effort to work together, and you know that they're going to do that. They'll be on the same page, at least initially, at Slammiversary.
I'll tell you what, though, you got to keep in mind there's the penalty box situation in the King of the Mountain matchup. So Suicide can actually equalize things to his favor. That's why I've always said, Alex Shelley, I know he wants that belt back. He was the one that held it when Suicide took it. I know that Chris Sabin feels that belt's just a part of his birthright. If those two guys want to get it back, they need to concentrate on working together for that goal, and maybe not the goal of unmasking Suicide at that time.
King of the Mountain match is at Slammiversary. In order to become eligible, you must get a pin or a submission on one of the opponents. The opponent who submits his pin then has to go to the penalty box, the penalty cage, and once you are eligible, you can win the match by retrieving the title belt and hanging it high above the ring.
Total control right now. Total momentum for Alex Shelley and Black Machismo as they are just taking it to Brother Ray. Working together, which you've got to do, but that time, again, looked like a little communication breakdown between the two of them.
Devon in, double clothesline, sends both Lethal and Shelley down. Same with these big overhand rights. Devon gonna take Lethal, firing across into the ropes, and wow, way up into the lights for that back body drop.
Wow, Devon showing some unbelievable strength.
Drop down neck break, running clothesline for Lethal. Here comes a side slam for Shelley, right into the pin, and almost three.
I'll tell you what, give Alex Shelley credit there. Able to get out of that destruction that Devon was putting on both of them at that point. That just shows you how resilient he is. He's just a tough kid. It's been a pleasure working with him here the last few years.
Clothesline leads to another near fall, another 2 count. This time broken up by Black Machismo. Now all 4 back in the ring. Well, make it 3 as Lethal gets tossed to the floor.
Hell of a little match is broken out here between these 4 guys. Alex Shelley in trouble, though.
Consequences, Creed illegally in, and well, Brother Ray taking care of both Creed and Sabin, and now they can concentrate on Shelley. Little what's up time.
Very vulnerable situation here for Alex Shelley. Here goes Devon. Ouch.
Diving headbutt off the top, and Team 3D, I mean, they're fighting 4 individuals in this matchup instead of the 2 that they signed up for.
Yeah, when you're the 22-time champion, that should be nothing for you.
Crowd here at the Impact Zone imploring 3D to get the tables, but here come the Brits. Here comes the British invasion of the ring, and 3D knocks them right back down.
Well, you had to expect that. The British invasion have not been afraid to show up at any point in time. That's what you got to respect about it. Oh, did you see that?
Doug Williams in with the Feaster fired case. The knockout blow on Devon. The referee counts 3.
Here are your winners, Flex Machismo, Jay Lethal, and Alex Shelley.
I mean, I've got to ask the question, as you see Doug Williams like a thief in the night leave the Impact Zone with the case, where the hell was beer money?